皆さんこんにちは。今回は日本時間12月22日に行われたオレクサンドル・ウシク対タイソン・フューリー戦の判定に対するボクシング関係者たちの反応を集め、それを翻訳しました。私はダゾーンの不具合で音が出ない状態で試合を見ていたのですが、最終ラウンドが終わった時点で、ウシクが明確に勝ったなと思いました。しかし、ボクシングの有識者からは様々な意見が出ています。それでは見ていきましょう。
Eddie Hearn got the decision. Fury losing a decision. Eddie, did you feel the right man won tonight?
I couldn't split him, Marcos, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm. You tell me. I'm thinking that most people thought Usyk won the fight. Is the reaction I see? Yeah. But I found it very difficult to split them. I thought both men were fantastic. It wasn't an enthralling fight this time, but it was a very technical fight, smart fight by both. You know, I think Fury showed that he's still an elite heavyweight, but I guess, you know, maybe watch it back. I thought there was a lot of close rounds. There was a lot of people on our rail sitting next to Oscar. I think he felt Tyson edged it. Frank thought Tyson edged it. Obviously, Bob thought, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like most people saw it that way. At least we had 3 scorecards that were, you know,
unanimous this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the AI judge. I think we got to get rid of him.
Wait, what did you?
118, 112 to Usyk. I thought it was very wide.
Yeah, that is.
I didn't see 8-4 to Usyk in that fight personally, but maybe watch it back.
What do you think made the difference, maybe with the judges, with Usyk getting the nod tonight?
Maybe work rate and just, you know, he was constantly working, but for me, you don't score a fight on work rate, you score it on punches landed. I believe in the punch stats, he landed more, but again, punch stats don't always tell you round by round scoring, so I don't know, you know, I felt like there was a lot of close rounds, and I actually had Fury up, I think 6-5 going into the last round. I thought Usyk edged out the last, but there's so many rounds that could have gone either way. So, you know, 3 high-quality judges, which they were, scored it 116, 112. I know it's subjective, but maybe I'm wrong. It's just how I saw the fight.
Alex Krassyuk felt that he saw maybe Tyson get a little older tonight.
アレックス・クラスクはウシクのプロモーターです。後ほど詳しくご紹介します。
Did you see that at all?
I think he looked very focused in the fight. I mean, I thought it was a good performance in terms of he was switched on for the 12 rounds. He didn't lose concentration like he did in the first fight. I thought he could have been a little bit more aggressive. But Usyk, he's very, very good. And I think what he's doing is astonishing given the weight. You know, you're talking about 50 pounds. I mean, you're talking about like a featherweight fighting a light heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So he's a phenomenal fighter.
Promoter Frank Warren, just sum it all up. Give me your immediate thoughts, please.
I thought it was a really good fight. It was a very closely and keenly fought fight, but I thought Tyson won it. And I don't understand how one judge could not give him a single round in the last 7 rounds. I mean, what fight was he watching? And the other 2 judges only gave him 1 round from the last 7 rounds of the fight. I can't. It's beyond me. Oscar De La Hoya is sitting a couple of seats away from me, and we were saying how you got it. And he's a neutral. He's not Tyson's mate or anything. He's, and he thought the same as me. He thought he won it.
What did Tyson Fury say to you in the changing room straight after you went to see him?
He was disappointed. He felt the same. He thought he'd done enough to win. Everybody where we were sitting thought he won. And I looked at Aegis and Alex. And they were not looking confident at all, I promise you.
イギス・クレマスはウシクのマネージャーであり、これまでにセルゲイ・コバレフやワシル・ロマチェンコといった有名選手をマネージメントしてきました。2016年には全米ボクシング記者協会から最優秀マネージャー賞を受賞しています。また、ティムズーを破ったバフラム・ムルタザリエフのマネージャーも務めています。今回のウシクのタイソン・ヒューリー戦での勝利も相まって、さらに評価を上げたのではないでしょうか。
How did you have it, Frank? Sorry, I don't know if you said.
I thought you won it by at least 2 or 3 rounds. I really did.
I thought he started very well, Tyson, and I thought the fight changed later on. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't. I think he had his moments. Usyk had his moments, but I think if you go and look at, I just felt Tyson was big, he was strong, he was focused. There was no showboating. He was working continuously. And I'm not taking anything away from Alexandra. He's a really great fighter, and he's obviously a great champion. But how anybody can not give him a round or give him 1 round in the last 7 rounds is nuts.
the fact that all three judges had it 116, 112 as well.
I've never seen that. I can't think in recent times where all the judges have got the same scorecard.
What did His Excellency say after?
I'll let he say what he's. I'm sure he thought that. I believe, but you have to check it with him. I think he thought the same, that he'd won the fight.
Frank, where does Tyson go from here?
He'd go home, spend some time with his family, and then make his mind up what he wants to do. There's no rush.
Proud and happy promoter Alex Krassyuk.
アレックス・クラスクは K2 プロモーションズのプロモーターを務めています。この会社はクリチコ兄弟とトム・ローファーによって設立されました。クリチコ兄弟は不動産や健康関連事業などボクシング以外にも多岐にわたる事業を展開しています。一方、トム・ローファーは後に独自のプロモーション会社360プロモーションズを設立しました。現在、ローファーは K2 プロモーションズの運営には関与していないようです。アレックスの X を見る限り、プロモーション活動やマネージメント業務は現在、主にアレックスが担っていると考えられます。
You predicted this and it went down pretty much what you said. In fact, you said there was going to be a knockout.
Yes. I was leaning to knockout, but Usyk did outstanding performance. He showed what is boxing like from the inside. He showed the real levels. Here is the basement, here is the first floor, second floor, third floor, and here is the roof. So he built the 12-story building of 12 rounds, and he got the perfect result. So this fight will go probably into encyclopedia of boxing as the great performance of a great boxer.
How did you score the actual fight?
I gave 4 rounds to Tyson, but I had one question mark. So I was like, either it's 116 or 117. I gave it to Tyson because we were fighting at the backyard of Tyson, of him.
People assume this because people think because His Excellency wanted Tyson to win, the judging might be a bit, scarce. But I think the general consensus is the way the scorecards were. I think
Turki Al-Sheikh is a man of the highest level. I don't think he would want any unfairness on his shows. For this reason, integrity and transparency is something that he's keeping under control. His image is perfect, and he keeps doing great things to the world of boxing.
Was the AI judge scorecard 118, 110? What did you make of that?
I think AI has to attend some of judges' seminars.
That's a fair answer. One last question for you. Did Tyson Fury make any improvements from the first fight?
No, I didn't see any improvements. He looked very tired for some reason. I don't know why. He really looked tired.
Alex Krassyuk, thank you and congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much.
Reactions about Oleksandr Usyk, unanimous decision victory, the right call in your opinion?
Yeah, great for him. I'm happy for him. Sad for Tyson. He's a good friend of mine, but I think Usyk pulled it off in the second half of the fight.
How did you see him in the fight up until that point? He seemed like Tyson started very well.
Yeah, he started very well, but then he started to wind. His conditioning wasn't 100%, I believe. I think Usyk did a great job in throwing combinations to the body, putting some body shots in the bank in the first few rounds, and then later on the second half of the fight, he took over.
On the note of Tyson's conditioning, he came in big, made a lot of people think that backside mean he's going to use his weight to his advantage to be a bit more pressure.
It might have been worked against him. I think being a heavier fighter doesn't necessarily mean you're the strongest and the better shape fighter.
Just a word on Alexander before you go as well, Oscar. Where does he rank now in terms of greats of the sport?
Yeah, he's definitely top 10, absolutely. I mean, Usyk deserves it. We have a lot of great heavyweight fighters in the history of the sport, and he's definitely top 10.
Thank you, Oscar.
Please, what did you make of the scorecards there? 116, 112, and all of them.
They all had the same score. There were some variances on different rounds, but I thought it was a closer fight. I mean, it might even have gone either way, but what can I say?
What did you make of Tyson's performance this time? A heavier Tyson Fury. What did you actually make of his performance this time out?
I thought he was more active with his jab, and he probably, in hindsight, he probably should have tried a little more of he has a good 1-2, one pop up, and he used his size and reach and everything. Usyk is like a machine, though. He's just got a big battery that never stops.
Teddy Atlas, Oleksandr.
I got plenty of them wrong, but that one I felt very strongly about, just like the first time. Usyk knows how to win. He'll find a way to win. And I thought Tyson would be better, and he was better. Give him credit for that, because he kind of fought the game plan that I kind of suggested that he should. Instead of just moving around the ring and letting Usyk boil him down with the pressure like he did the first time, he set himself. He used the wingspan. He set himself where he made Usyk earn his way in. He wasn't getting pushed all over the ring, and that's what wears you down. And Fury, to his credit, he did a much better job. But Usyk does what he does. He finds a way to win. And I turned to my son. He lost the 5th round, Usyk, and it was a big round for Fury. I turned to my son and I said, watch what the guy who knows how to win, watch what he does the next round. My son was like, Dad, just watch what he does in his 6th round. Mr. Winner is going to come right out and show you what a winner does. Comes out the 6th round, dominates the 6th round, takes the 7th, takes the 8th, takes the 9th, takes the 10th. I thought he took even the 11th, he lost the 12th. And there were rounds that were close where Tyson tried to steal it, and he did a good job. He tried to steal it at the end. But when you're throwing 1 and 2 like Fury was, and the other guys throwing 5 and 6, guess what? Even Teddy Atlas knows that. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I know that 5 and 6 beats 1 and 2. I kind of figured that one out. But at the end of the day, the whole turning point was after the 5th. It was the 6th round. He did what winners do. He said, a winner never lets you get momentum, does he? No. A winner's not going to let you run rounds on him, is he? No, because he wouldn't be a winner. Right away, he knew. He said, I can't let him win another round. He'll get momentum. He'll get control of the fight. That ain't happening. So what does he do? He goes out there the 6th round and he puts his flag in the ground. And you know what the flag said? Winner. I know how to win. And that's what he does. He knows how to win.
Teddy, I know you've got a flight to catch, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time this week. Actually, Oleksandr Usyk, where does he rank for you now? Where does he rank for you amongst the greats?
Say that again.
Where does Oleksandr Usyk rank?
Are you kidding me? He's earned the right to be mentioned with all the top guys. He's one of the great winners of our era. And the funny thing about him, there's not one thing that you could say, oh my God, he does such so great. He's the greatest puncher. He's fast like Ali. His legs are like, no. There's not one thing he doesn't do real well. He does everything real well. There's not one weakness. And the most important thing at the end of the day, the strongest part of him all, the mental part, that he's mentally always in charge of himself, always.
For Fury, is it just a Joshua fight next year now? Do you feel like that's his option?
Listen, God bless them. They're going to make more money. They're going to fill Wembley Stadium up, I'm sure, whatever. God bless them. But to me, it's lost. It's lost its zing. It's lost its luster. I mean, but that's me. It's lost. The English fans are so loyal. They're such boxing fans. They still come out. But for me, I mean,
you know it's Brits, Teddy. You know it's Brits.
Hey, like I said, I'll say it again. Tommy, I think that Eddie Hearn, I think Frank Warren, they do a marvelous job. They do a great job. But when I die, I want to come back like Eddie Hearn, an English promoter, because I'm going to be rich. Because the English fans are going to make me rich. They're going to make me rich because they love their fighters and they come out and back them. God bless you, you guys that love those muffins. Well, no, crumpets. I'm sorry.
クランペットとは、このようなイギリスの伝統的なパンの一種です。
And darts. And a few other things. You guys are great.
Teddy Atlas, thank you very much for your time.
Lennox, first off, overall impression of the fight?
It was a good fight. I would have liked to see Tyson a little bit more, aggressive and go after Usyk a bit more because, he won the first fight. So it was up to Tyson to go after him and make sure he wins the second fight.
Was the scoring correct in your opinion?
I didn't hear the scoring.
But in terms of the winner?
In terms of the winner, yes.
Yeah. I think obviously Frank Warren's over there. He feels differently. He thought some of the judges had the rounds, although unanimous, different across the rounds for different fighters. Is there a case here that we didn't talk to Fury? He walked out, but do you think he will feel he won that fight?
Yeah, he will feel maybe he won the fight. I don't know because I felt he could have did a little bit more work. Usyk was hitting him to the body a couple of times, giving him free shots, getting those free shots, and those were scoring points. So I guess that's what the judges were looking at.
Self, Amir Khan, what did you make of those scorecards, Amir?
I mean, look, it was a close fight. It could have gone either way, in my opinion. I think the scorecards only gave Tyson over the 4 rounds or something.
Yeah, it was 116, 112 on all scorecards, 8-4.
8-4, yeah. I mean, look, I don't think it was that close. Honestly, I had it even in round 10 going into the final 2 rounds, and I thought Tyson might have nicked it, you know what I mean? It could have gone either way, but wish them both the very best. And I think, yeah, I mean, look, Tyson thought he won the fight by looking at him. A lot of people thought he won the fight. It's boxing, you know what I mean? It's what the judges saw.
A heavier Tyson Fury in this rematch. What did you actually make of his performance tonight?
I think Tyson was getting some big shots in. He was catching Usyk with some very good shots. And I was sat next to Klitschko and also Lennox Lewis.
That's not bad company.
I mean, I felt strong. No one's going to touch me, you know what I mean? But you know what? Look, it is one of them things. Tough day for the Brits. We wanted those titles home. Unfortunately, it was not our day.
Well, as a spectacle, the rematch of this fight, I think we can say it lived up to all the expectations that we hoped it would be. It was a fantastic boxing match between these two. However, controversy around the scorecards and the final result today. David, do you want to kick us off with this?
Yeah, rarely do you get all 3 judges having it the same way. Obviously, there were different rounds, but all had Tyson winning only 4 rounds. I thought that was very, very harsh. I definitely feel the fight was closer than that. Tyson raised his game. Tyson boxed a lot better this time than he boxed last time. I thought his pace, his rhythm, I thought he was trying his best to get in close and rough him up inside. He was doing all the things he needed to do. Usyk just raised his game once again. He's got gears and just keeps going. Whatever Tyson did, he just kept upping it.
Well, we haven't seen the scorecard, but Frank gave us an insight there. 2 judges had Tyson winning 1 round from the 6th round onwards. What are your initial thoughts to that?
I mean, I scored it myself a draw. So I think if you go either way of that by a round to Fury or a round to Usyk, then you can't really complain. But to give him only 1 round in the last 6 seems a bit wrong to me, if I'm being honest. But look, Usyk's like you said, Fury was better tonight.
Much better.
Usyk had to be better as well. He held the ring more, Fury. The centre of the ring more. He was trying to push him back. But Usyk upped his game. He had to as well, and he done that. And that is what champion fighters do. I'm sure Fury is gutted and disappointed, and they all probably feel like he should have won the fight. But for me, I scored it a draw. But I think the 3 judges definitely had it 2 ways.
I'm not sure if either camp thought they'd won at the end for sure. I know that Sugar Hill in the corner was saying we need this round, we need this round.
シュガーヒル・ステュワードはタイソン・ヒューリーのトレーナーであるだけでなく、ベン・ウィテカーのトレーナーも務めています。本名はジャバン・ヒルですが、叔父であるエマニュエル・ステュワードへの敬意を表し、その名を引き継いだようです。エマニュエル・ステュワードは、ウラジミール・クリチコやレノックス・ルイスなど、数えきれないほど多くの有名なボクサーたちに携わった伝説的なトレーナーでした。さて、次にお見せするのは、11ラウンド終了後のセコンドの様子です。 このように、タイソン陣営の切羽詰まった様子が伺えますね。
As opposed to what he was saying in the previous fight. So I just think the Usyk camp probably thought they'd nicked it, and I think that the Fury camp probably thought they'd nicked it. But let's remember, in that first fight, it was a really tight decision, a split decision. Okay, the judges could only agree on the winner in 4 rounds. 4 judges. 4 rounds for Usyk, 4 rounds for Fury, 4 rounds they didn't know what they were doing. And it sounds like they've done the same thing tonight. And I've got to be honest with you, I've never seen Frank Warren speechless like that, lost for words. He wasn't even in touch with what was going on, so he wasn't even screaming blue murder and an instigation. And JD was trying to goad him and saying, I know that you've appealed in the past. And Frank's just shaking his head.
JD ダイヤーはイギリス出身で、スポーツ番組の進行役を務めるほか、ボクシング選手だけでなく、バスケットボール選手にも自らインタビューを行っています。
He has no idea what's going on. Now, what he didn't say, though, careful, think about what he said. He didn't say it was a robbery. He didn't say my man's breezed it. He was more astounded at that stat about the last 6 rounds. Yeah. He was astounded about the 4. Yeah. Had it been 7-5, okay, I don't think he would have said that much. But he didn't say that was a robbery, that was a scream up, I'm going to appeal, let's have a rematch. You think, why didn't he say that, Dave? Why didn't he say that?
Well, I tell you what, why didn't he say it? I've no idea. He just looked dumbfounded, didn't he?
He just looked completely in shock.
Yeah, he really did. But, I mean, out of every round, out of all the 12 rounds, there wasn't any that was really one-sided in anyone's favour. So, in that sense, you're always going to see different scorecards, aren't you? But yeah, they only give Fury 4 rounds in that fight. Seems very unfair to me.
A lot of people around me in ringside, as I walked past Radio Raheem, he had it 9-3 to Usyk. And I remember he said,
ラジオラヒムは長いキャリアを持つジャーナリストで、現代ボクシングの声とも評される人物です。
that to me and I was like, it's way closer than that. And everyone, and I remember as I was walking past him, I said, that's a close one. I said, maybe Usyk 1 or 2 rounds. He went, what? And there was a few people around him. They was all shocked that I thought it was close.
You know what, Dave? I said to Carl just before we came back and sat down at the end of the fight, I said I wouldn't be at all surprised here if one judge goes 7 rounds to Fury and another judge goes 7 rounds to Usyk. And judging by what you've picked up on your stroll back here, you've picked up that same kind of discrepancy. And I think that maybe explains why Frank Warren was more dumbfounded than angry. Do you remember after the Nick Bull fight, when we saw him out when Nick Bull fought for the featherweight title against Ray Vargas? Frank Warren could barely speak at the end of the fight. What we saw there was, and he was right, was a dumbfounded Frank Warren, just concerned that the judges did that they scored those last 6 rounds the way they scored it. I'm a bit confused by that.
Well, yeah, I mean, how does boxing address these controversies?
Oh, well,
that's the age-old question, isn't it, Becky? You're new to this game, aren't you?
Not that new.
We've got 3 judges all agreeing for the first time in a massive fight.
Yeah, so we should be applauding them.
We should be happy. Literally, they all agreed that, Fury won 4 rounds.
Yeah.
That's not how I saw it, but all 3 judges, and that's their job to judge, saw it that way. People at ringside saw it even wider than that. I don't agree personally from my point of view, but it depends what you're after. It depends what you like. The rounds were close. You could make an argument.
Frank says that Oscar De La Hoya had Fury a mile in front. Now, I would take Oscar De La Hoya's view over Radio Raheem's view.
Naseem Hamed, you didn't think, you thought Usyk was the favourite going into the fight. Did it play out the way you thought it was going to play out?
No, not really. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with that. The way they judged that, to me, it was a little bit too wide. I personally thought it was a lot closer than that. I wouldn't have give it the way they give it Usyk. I just thought he did really, really well. Tyson, he did way better than the first time, so that deserved to be a 1-1, and we should have a trilogy on our hands. So I'm a bit upset for Tyson. I'm a bit upset, obviously, for all of his fans, his family, and I just wish he'd won that fight because we needed that fight. He needed to cement his legacy, and I thought that he did. To be honest, I think a lot of people saw it different, but I know one thing. I know that he was working really, really hard, Usyk, to create as much as he could with working with his hand speed and the shots that he got in. I don't know what the punch count was for how many times he connected, but it might have possibly been more than Tyson's. But you know what? There's no way it was the way they said it was. That's all I know.
Oleksandr Usyk, an all-time great, in your opinion?
Listen, Usyk's always been and always going to be a future Hall of Fame man, a future great. Oleksandr Usyk had an unbelievable amateur career and an unbelievable professional career. He's undisputed. I can't take anything away from him and his performance and his team. He's just an amazing fighter. He's got the IQ of not many fighters that's ever lived. He's one of the cleverest fighters that's ever come along in any generation, because he's got something special. He's gifted. He's been blessed from Allah with a gift, and he uses it. That's the truth. He knew exactly when to put that speed on, when to put that pressure on, when to release them shots the way that he did. And that's why it's hard to take it away from a warrior and a champion like Oleksandr Usyk.
You know, the AI judge had it 118-110 to Usyk. What do you think of that?
Do you know what? I don't agree with that. I can't see that being true. Like I said to you earlier, I'm not too sure about the punch count. But in my eyes, you know, that was a good enough performance for me from Tyson Fury to take that fight, to make it 1-1 and to show us a trilogy. In my eyes, that's what I'm saying.
Fury versus Usyk. Usyk versus Fury 2 is over. Oleksandr Usyk defends the title, retains the title over Tyson Fury in a fight where, you know what, I wouldn't say it was the most exciting fight, very tactical fight, but, you know, Tyson Fury tried a couple of things differently. You know, I think he did try to, you know, make it a little bit physical in the second half of the fight, but I'm not sure if that was by design or if that was just because he was getting tired. He was trying to hold on a little bit too much. You know, we saw Fury weighing real heavy this time around, and we expected him to, you know, try to make it a physical fight. But just as I said, Usyk's not the easiest guy to track down. These are not the legs of Deontay Wilder where you just walk up to him and push him back and try to put him on the back foot. Usyk has those angles. He spins around constantly. He can create new punch angles, and he's constantly has those little feints and herky-jerky moves where he's, you know, going underneath the lead jab of Fury, coming over the top with left hands. I like that he kept setting that trap with the jabs to the stomach and the left hands to the head. A couple of times it worked, and he was able to land some clean shots. Listen, Fury didn't perform bad. He had a couple of sharp 1-2s in the fight. You know, we saw the black eye of Usyk with on his left eye from some of the sharp right hands. Fury did land some decent uppercuts in the fight. But overall, you know, the energy of the fight, the way the fight was carried, the way the fight was dictated, it was dictated in a way where, you know, Oleksandr Usyk was deciding what kind of fight they were going to fight, you know, and I felt like it was competitive the whole way, but I felt like Usyk sealed in the last 2 rounds. Those last 2 rounds, I felt like Fury did more looking to hold, try to waste time than he did trying to win the rounds, and that was really gut check time when, you know, you had a competitive fight. I felt like Usyk was, you know, maybe slightly up going into the 11th round, or maybe the fight was even, but those last couple of rounds sealed the deal. I don't think you can have a question mark as to who really should have deserved to win the fight.
Unanimous decision. Still undefeated. Still